It's DTS 42 and so much House of Wolves. The next few weeks are looking awesome as Bungie is just feeding us tons of news. All that and more coming up.
You're listening to Destiny the Show. Welcome, Guardians.
Welcome, listeners, to Destiny the Show, number 42. I am BBKDRAGOON, joined as always by the awesome Ditty. How are you doing this week?
Hyped for House of Wolves. Let's do it.
Man, so much stuff. The stream, you said, was one of the largest. What was the stat?
It was, there were 134,000 concurrent viewers, and I believe Twitch released a press release saying that it was the largest video game reveal on their site. And I don't know how many games have been revealed on Twitch so far, but it was the largest so far, and that was actually pretty cool.
That's exciting, man. You know, there's a lot of people in this community that might have sort of gone under the radar during Dark Below in these last few months, but it's good to see there's a lot of excitement, and people are really looking towards House of Wolves to see what the future of Destiny is going to be like. So tons of news today to talk about, so I won't waste a whole lot of time. What'd you do this week?
I got demoted a few times in League of Legends, so that was fun.
Ooh.
But it was just like promoted to Silver 1, demoted to Silver 2, and I've done that like 4 times now, so that was not very fun. But school's ramping up for final season, so I'm trying to play a little bit less video games and finish out school. But the good news is school will be done by the time House of Wolves launches, so I'm going to have like 3 weeks of just House of Wolves grinding. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, man. That's awesome, dude. Well, get stoked. It's almost around the bend. This week, I did some Titan playing. I'm doing Titan builds for Planet Destiny, PvP stuff, and I like Titans, I have to say, after doing like a full week of Fist of Havoc. That's a great super, man. I think that super's a bit easier than a Warlock Nova Bomb, but it's cool. Just every type of class in Destiny has its own flavor. And other than that, man, I really am going to rely on you for a lot of this House of Wolves information that was shown this week during their stream. I was at work. I wasn't able to follow all of it. I've been looking at recaps, but I'm totally stoked to talk about today's news.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So the first link that you can find on DestinyTheShow.com is everything we learned from the Reef Reveal. This is a Reddit thread that has a bullet point list of everything that was gone over in the stream. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Bungie had a stream on twitch.tv/Bungie last Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They're going to be doing it again this Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday, and then the next week on Tuesday, House of Wolves releases. In this stream, they showed off the Reef, and they talked about, oh my gosh, just a ton of things. We're going to go over it here in today's show, but if you want a quick overview, a bullet point list put together by J2R7L2, which is a really hard to say username, it's a great post to just catch up quickly. Also on the show is a complete archive of the Reef Reveal stream, so if you want to check the entire thing out all the way through, that YouTube link is on our website as well. I think we should start with Bungie's weekly update, and then we're going to talk about everything that was shown in the Reef Reveal. So in terms of the weekly update, Ditty, the big points were commendations, right?
Yeah, so in the reveal stream, they didn't actually talk about commendations. So the community member they had, King Gathalion, he asked about commendations after the stream, and he requested that Deej had put that information inside the weekly update. Yeah. And what's going to happen is, you know, when the Dark Below was introduced, they introduced this new currency called Commendations, Vanguard and Crucible. So whenever you ranked up one of those factions, you got this Commendation, and you would use that to purchase a Vanguard or Crucible piece of gear, whether it was armor or weapons. So what they're doing with House of Wolves is they're just getting rid of commendations altogether. You'll be able to, they'll turn into consumables, and they will give you 250 reputation for whatever faction item you're wearing to that faction for one commendation.
That's exciting. You know, I'm looking forward to that because I have a ton of Crucible commendations just stacking up. There's a lot of Crucible gear I just don't want, really. Not the Vanguard ones. I usually use those. So my question would be this. You know, the commendations are used right now to purchase helmets or chest pieces or weapons. And in order to get that commendation, it's like only once per ranking up. Once commendations leave, will we be able to buy, let's say, a helmet and a chest piece within one Vanguard rank or within one Crucible rank? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not, because the vendors are there just to give you gear, and Bungie's trying not to limit that stuff anymore. They want you to purchase whatever items you want from a vendor whenever you want. So they're just getting rid of that limitation from the commendations entirely.
Man, that is awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Now, Iron Banner is coming back this Tuesday. So are you looking forward to this again? I know last time you got all 3 characters to what? Was it max rank?
Rank 4, because I wanted the armor. I want a full set of Iron Banner gear for all of my classes. And I just think the Iron Banner gear looks so good. I love the detail on it. And I'm not really excited getting all 3 characters to rank 4. I'm assuming the helmet's going to be rank 4, because that would just make sense to me. But it's going to be nice, because what we're going to talk about with the reveal in terms of leveling up your gear, I really want that full set of Iron Banner gear.
There's a note in the update that says, due to a navigation bug, the only way to access Iron Banner will be to select it from the main director interface. Look to the left margin for the featured activities. You won't be able to select the Iron Banner from your Crucible menu. So that's going to be coming this Tuesday when you're listening to the show. It should be live. And that's really just about it from the weekly update. The commendation news was nice to hear. It's cool that they responded to Gothalion? Did I say it right? How do you say it?
King Gothalion. And I want to say one thing about the commendations.
Yeah.
Wait until you've done the Nightfall, because that reputation gain will be affected by the Nightfall buff.
Oh, nice. Pro strats right there. All right, it's time to talk about the Reef Reveal. There's a ton of information. Let's start with the new social space that was shown. It's called the Queen's Bay. It's going to be open to everybody, regardless of if they purchase House of Wolves or not. But go over some of the things that are there. Our new vendor, who's Petra?
Petra Venge is the Eris Morn counterpart. She's going to be the main story quest giver, just like Eris Morn was in the Dark Below. And she was actually the Queen's emissary back when the Queen's Wrath event happened in Vanilla Destiny.
Oh.
And she's got some pretty cool gear. You can actually get one of the Queen's ships. It's really freaking cool. She's got lots of nice shaders. The ranking up is going to be very similar to Eris Morn. I don't know if it's going to max out at level 4 or rank 4. But depending on which rank of reputation you are with Petra or the Queen's, whatever, that's going to be which tier of gear you're going to be able to get.
Gotcha. Now, the rewards for the Queen's Wrath reputation stuff, essentially it works like you said, Eris Morn's. Does that mean I need to have the DLC to be able to go through that?
I don't know exactly. I'm going to assume yes, because
it is. Yeah,
because you're going to need to be able to do the Petra or the Queen's missions, or the quests, basically.
So she'll give us our missions, she'll give us our quests, and then we'll have bounties to complete through Petra.
Yeah, just like Eris Morn, you needed the Dark Below to rank up Eris Morn, you'll still need the DLC House of Wolves.
I know to get the ship, you have to have rank 3 for the reputation with her, and I think it's like 18,000 Glimmer. And the new ship, by the way, looks phenomenal. If you guys remember what the ship looked like when it was docked for the Queen's Wrath bounty way back when Destiny launched, I'm going for this ship, man. This is way better than the shader that Eris sells at rank 3, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the recap from Planet Destiny's thread says this. In short, gaining Queen's Wrath reputation will allow you to buy cosmetic items. Petra will be the main story agent, leading you through the quests, just like Eris. Wanted bounties from Petra will rotate each week. Now, what is a wanted bounty?
Okay, so if you're familiar with the Queen's Wrath and how those bounties worked, you would, defeat this fallen in this mission that you've already played before. These are not the same thing. These are new bounties for new people in the new quests.
Gotcha. That's interesting. That's kind of a nice little new feature.
Yep.
The new social space will have a bounty tracker, a cryptarch, a vault, a postmaster, and also some more NPCs we're going to talk about here in a minute. Queen's Wrath armor and weapons are acquired in the Prison of Elders. And I think this is probably a good time to talk about Prison of Elders. We're going to find more about it in 2 weeks when they do their Prison of Elders reveal stream. But could you talk a little bit about the currency that comes with Prison of Elders and how we're actually going to be getting gear?
First off, we say 2 weeks. That's when we're recording this. But
Good point.
the week this podcast goes out, next week is going to be the Prison of Elders. So
Correct, yeah.
this week is Trials of Osiris. Next week is going to be Prison of Elders. The currency is there's new drops from the Prison of Elders. Well, first we should talk about what the Prison of Elders is.
Yeah. So, new game mode. It's going to be a 3-player cooperative, competitive event mode. Experience
End
that
game
focuses
content.
on variability. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Ditty, take the mic.
Variability or variety in your gameplay, and it's end game content. So for the hardiest of hardy fire teams to complete.
Yes. Replayability. Good. We think it's a horde mode like kind of a thing. That's kind of what the community believes it is. So that's what we know so far. Okay, gear.
So there's going to be these things called armor cores and weapon cores. They're going to be currencies or consumables for this Prison of Elders vendor in the Reef social space. His name is Varix the Loyal, and he is the chieftain from the House of Judgment, which is another fallen faction or fallen house. And he's very loyal to the queen, so he's going to be all about the Prison of Elders. And some of this gear just looks awesome.
Yeah, the new weapons look really, really good. And there are 3 new houses, basically. Or I mean, these houses, right, are kind of like factions, but for the fallen, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay, that's really cool. And each of those will just work like factions? Is that the idea?
Yeah, so for this particular vendor, Varix, the House of Judgment, he does have a reputation wheel like Eris and Petra and the Cryptarch and whatever, any vendor in the tower. He has a reputation just like that. So depending on what rank you are with Varix is going to determine what tier of gear you can purchase from him.
And by the way, this gear that drops, it has a chance to drop in the Prison of Elders, but you accumulate currency by doing Prison of Elders. You can use that currency to purchase these items. It's important to note, this was raid tier gear. This was like attack level 365 weapons, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is interesting. This will be the end game activity, it appears, one of the end game activities, it appears. Just so you know, there is a weekly lockout in regards to how many items you can get per week in Prison of Elders. And I'm really curious to find out what this is. Hopefully it's going to be more so than the raid, because we all want to do Prison of Elders, hopefully more than once a week. Am I right?
Right. They did say that the Prison of Elders is going to be on a weekly reset, but it's going to be different every week. And we don't know the details there, but we just know that it's going to be on a weekly reset.
Okay, interesting. Didn't mean to cut you off there. There are a few new materials, right? Fallen cores, judgment tokens, and these are given to you by opening chests in the arena, killing wanted fallen, and increasing reputation with the House of Judgment. Now, what is the arena? What are arena challenges?
Yeah, this is actually kind of interesting because the way that these descriptions are worded means that the Prison of Elders and the arena are different. That's my impression. It could be that the Prison of Elders contains multiple arenas. Yeah, that could be another theory, but it's very interesting to see fallen cores are obtained by completing arena challenges. Those are kind of like your tokens. You know, hey, you completed wave 3, here's 3 tokens or something like that. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that all plays out, but it seems like they're going to be different.
Some of the Prison of Elders gear has fallen-specific perks. Now, these are new perks, right?
Yes, very similar to how Vault of Glass weapons have increased damage to oracles, or the Crota's End weapons have increased damage to Hive Majors. It's going to be a very similar perk, just like that.
Okay, cool. So, on Planet Destinies, in short recap, Prison of Elders will have weekly lockouts for weapon and armor cores. To play, you will need to finish the House of Wolves story content. Don't worry, I doubt it'll take a ton of time. Armor cores and weapon cores will drop from the Prison of Elders and are needed to purchase gear from Varix. And that's our new NPC, right, Ditty?
Yes.
Okay. Prison of Elders gear will have new perks. Weapons are Fallen themed. They look really cool. And each week, there will be different Prison of Elders rewards. There will be a rotating pattern because they don't want the same pants coming up 4 weeks in a row. That's exciting, man. Also, Trials of Osiris, man. I'm going to let you just take the ball with this one. What is Trials of Osiris? How is it operating? Who is Brother Vance?
Okay, so Trials of Osiris is a competitive, I want to say end game Crucible mode, because you have to be invited into the Trials of Osiris. You have to do very well in standard Destiny Crucible in order to get a ticket into the Trials of Osiris. And once you're inside the Trials of Osiris, you have, it's a 3v3, isn't it, I think? Well,
everybody thinks it's skirmish. I don't know if it's been officially announced, but everybody we know thinks it's skirmish. I don't want to say it has been.
Yeah, we will know this week. So everything we say in this segment could totally change by the time the stream comes out. But basically, so Brother Vance is an NPC in the Reef social space, and he will be our emissary into the secretive PvP activity. He has rewards, supplies, and, quote, passages into the Trials of Osiris, including unique consumables that, quote, affect the way the event plays out. So, Brother Vance has different things in his inventory to sell. It seems that Trials of Osiris will have tiered rewards. Deej very briefly moused over a stone tier reward, and that leads us to believe that there's going to be stone, iron, bronze, gold, silver, whatever. And the more you win in the Trials of Osiris, the higher tier or higher increased rarity that gear will be.
Yeah, so I just want to read over some of these consumables that he moused over. Boon of Osiris is the title of this one, and it says, you have been granted a boon. Winning your first Trials match will count as 2. It also shows, for another consumable, Mercy of Osiris. You've been granted mercy. Your first loss in the Trials will be forgiven. And then the last one that he moused over, Favor of Osiris. You have been granted a favor. You will start the Trials with a win already awarded. So all 3 of these sort of indicate that, yes, like we thought with Trials of Osiris, there is a cap as to how many matches you can lose before you are removed from the Trials of Osiris, before you have to earn another invitation back into the event. Kind of like Hearthstone's Arena. If you've played that, you're allowed 3 losses, and then your arena run completes at that point. Now, it's not confirmed, okay? But wouldn't you say, Ditty, that's probably an accurate representation?
Yeah, it seems like I would assume that if your win-loss record goes negative, in terms like, so I win my first 3 matches, then I win 4 in a row, I'm removed because I've lost more than I've won. It seems like you need to have a win ratio above 50% to remain in the Trials of Osiris. And we should note that the Trials of Osiris will run every weekend between Friday through the next reset, which would be Tuesday morning.
Yeah, so this is a weekend event.
Yeah. So they want more people to play. They want to open it up in a time frame where more people can play it, basically. Because, you know, they understand that the majority of people will work through the weekdays and they don't have time to actually play the Trials of Osiris, so they want to just open it up on the weekends.
And with how big a role it seems like Trials of Osiris is playing, I mean, they're devoting an entire hour-long stream day to it, a stream day that's going to have over 100,000 people watching. It seems like it's probably not going to be that difficult to get in, because I would imagine they want a lot of people to experience this content if they're purchasing the DLC. This is speculation territory, obviously. Originally, when we heard about Trials of Osiris a long, long time ago, we thought, oh, it's going to be ultra hardcore, and only certain people are going to be able to get into the Trials of Osiris. But, you know, at this point, I think it's probably going to be a pretty wide set of metrics that you have to hit to be able to get in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and his rewards, they start out at blue rarity and they increase to purple legendary rarity. So depending on how many wins you have, say I win 50 games in a row, which is never going to happen, I'm going to get that legendary tier item.
Yeah, by the way, some of the gear that he sells is incredible, right?
Yeah, it's, oh man, the armor is just amazing. The hand cannon.
I don't think I've seen
is
anything
amazing.
that looks as good.
No, it's easily the best looking stuff, in my opinion, in the game.
There's a Warlock helmet that I'll probably use somewhere on the website that looks like a ram, like it's a ram's head for the helmet. It looks straight up out of Dark Souls.
I believe that's the exotic helmet, the ram.
Yes. So sick. So sick. Okay, sorry. I derailed us there. Zur, nothing new happened with Zur. Deej said Zur will arrive in a place at a cadence in which you can anticipate. Zur will have a bunch of stuff that you can buy, and you can decide if you want to buy that stuff or not. So thanks. That was very helpful.
I think it will be safe to say that the first week or so that House of Wolves is out, Zur will be selling DLC items only. Very similar to how the Dark Below was. And the Nightfall was Omnigul, that first strike. It was that for like 2 weeks or something. And then Zur would just have Dark Below items. So if you want to purchase something from Zur once the House of Wolves comes out, just know that you might need the DLC for those items.
All right. It's time for the real news that was shown here. Upgrade paths for gear. Well, really, they showed off just the weapons, right?
And the gear.
And the gear. Okay, well then take it away, man. School me. How does the new upgrade system work?
Okay. Any piece of legendary gear that you've had between Destiny's launch and House of Wolves, you will be able to upgrade or ascend to the max level. So with weapons, it will be 365 attack damage. And it will be, for armor, it will be level 42 light, I think, to get you to level 34 light.
Now, quick question to clarify. You said any weapon in gear. We're talking just about legendaries, right? Legendaries and above.
Yes.
Legendaries and exotics,
yes.
right?
Any legendary and exotic you've received between vanilla launch, Destiny launch and House of Wolves, you'll be able to upgrade. So, for example, Fatebringer is Vault of Glass, maxes out at 300 damage. If you have your Fatebringer fully maxed out in terms, all the bubbles filled in and unlocked, you will be able to ascend that weapon to 365 damage. And that will require a certain currency, which is going to be introduced in the Dark Below. It's called Etheric Light, I believe. And you'll just need to acquire one of those through the Prison of Elders or Trials of Osiris, and you'll be able to upgrade it to 365 damage.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's huge.
It's not just raid weapons either. So my favorite sniper rifle in Destiny is the final boss, which is, it was the Vanguard sniper rifle sold in vanilla Destiny.
Yes, I have it.
Caps out at 300 damage. I'm going to be able to get a 365 final boss.
Oh, dude, I'm getting excited right now. Okay, so
we need to clarify.
Yeah.
Ascending or upgrading a weapon from 300 to 365 or 331 to 365 damage will not reset the progress. It just adds the damage, and it keeps everything else.
That's brilliant. That's good. So Etheric Light, and this material is going to drop from endgame content, things like Prison of Elders, Trials of Osiris, Nightfall Strikes, and Iron Banner. Now, in the Reef Reveal teaser trailer, we saw somebody wearing full Vault of Glass gear who was light level. Well, no, not light level. He was 34. He was level 34,
yes,
right?
Yes, because he ascended his Vault of Glass gear to the max light level.
Can you explain what Reforge Ready is and how reforging kind of works and how the gunsmith is now going to be playing a role?
Okay, so this is something new, and it only applies to House of Wolves gear. I need to clarify that. So any legendary weapon that is House of Wolves gear, that is in the House of Wolves, so like doesn't exist before House of Wolves, you will be able to reforge the weapon perks on that weapon with the gunsmith for a certain price, whether I think it's like 250 glimmer and some weapon parts. And you just switch the perks.
Wow.
You can tell if a weapon is reforge ready by the little icon it has. It has like two hammers crossed. If it has that symbol, you'll be able to reforge that.
That is super exciting. Is there anything we missed before I go through their summary? I think so.
I don't think you'll be able to reforge armor, just the weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we need to clarify that. Oh, the speaker. Oh my gosh, this is huge.
Oh, yeah, you can exchange. Go for it.
The speaker is going to be more useful now. Instead of, buying class items, he's going to have a material exchange. Every piece of currency in Destiny or upgrade material, Ascendant Shards, Ascendant Energies, Motes of Light, Glimmer, Radiant Shards and Energies, Motes of Light, and Glimmer. I already said that twice, but it's listed there twice. It's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio with a certain Glimmer price to just swap them out. Like, if I want to change my Radiant Shards to Radiant Energies, I can just swap them out. I don't have to use Eris anymore. Radiant was a bad example. If I want to change my Motes of Light to Ascendant Shards, I can do that.
That's insane, dude. That's going to be...
And if you don't have any use for those upgrade materials, say you have 2,000 Ascendant Shards, you can trade 1 Ascendant Shard in for 250 Glimmer or something like that.
I've got way too much energy. I can now switch that into what I'd like. That is a step in the right direction. It's taking away the random element because, hey, I get disappointed by that Nightfall drop. That gave me a bunch of stuff I don't want. Well, now I can switch that around. So to recap, again, we're using Planet Destiny's complete Reef Reveal recap article. Any legendary or exotic weapon can be ascended to 365 attack. You don't need to buy House of Wolves to ascend items, which is way cool. If you're just a Destiny player, you're going to get access to 365 attack. Legendary weapons require Etheric Light to be upgraded to 365 attack. Etheric Light is obtained from endgame activities, including Iron Banner, and you don't need House of Wolves to acquire them. There's no cap on the amount you own. Exotic weapons require an exotic shard to be upgraded to 365 attack. We forgot to mention that, but I mean, come on, that's standard.
So basically, to ascend a weapon, you need to have it fully upgraded before you ascend it. So you're going to need that exotic shard anyways.
Yeah. Perks are not reset when upgrading, and re-rolling legendary House of Wolves weapon perks can happen. You can buy telemetries now at the gunsmith. You can't reforge pre-House of Wolves weapons. So all pretty good stuff, right?
Yeah, so if I want to re-roll my LDR or Fellwinter's Lie, well, Fellwinter's Lie is not a very good example. If I want to re-roll my Secret Handshake or LDR, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's not a House of Wolves piece of gear.
So in closing, the last thing that they mention is the new gear and perks. By the way, every vendor basically has new gear to sell you. Even faction masters, the Vanguard Quartermaster, the Crucible Quartermaster. What stood out to you in terms of the new gear and some of the new perks?
So the new gear is going to have new perks. Like, it's brand new perks because with the Dark Below, yeah, we got new weapons and new armor and everything, but the perks were basically the same. Like, we maybe got 1 or 2 brand new perks, but these brand new weapons, you're going to have new perks. So it's going to be like kills with this weapon, reduce the cooldown of your grenade and melee at the same time or something like that. It's really cool. And the way they looks amazing. Like, with the Dark Below, from the switch from vanilla Destiny to Dark Below vendor items, it just kind of changed the weapon skin and just didn't really change the model. But they're actually introducing some new weapon models and new weapon skins as well. I'm looking at the Vindicator 11 here, or XI, whatever, from the new Monarchy, and it looks like a Halo 4 battle rifle, even though it does. It's an auto rifle, whatever. Higher impact auto rifles are also being reintroduced because with a lot of the Dark Below auto rifles, they're just bullet hoses, low impact, high rate of fire. People don't like them very much. They're reintroducing lower rate of fire, higher impact auto rifles as well. So that's really nice.
Interesting. Yeah, what's really cool too about the faction gear is they showed us a picture of the Warlock chest piece for both New Monarchy and Dead Orbit. You can literally see the New Monarchy logo very clearly on the chest. The Dead Orbit player is the same thing. So I'm looking forward to that because I'm a New Monarchy player at heart, and I really want to show people when I'm in a match, because that's really all I do is play a lot of PvP right now. I want to show people my New Monarchy, what I'm repping. I do want to mention this briefly. It's not confirmed, but we speculate that weapon skins are going to be in House of Wolves. There was an item thumbnail that looked like one of the weapons we've seen previously, only it had a different skin on it. The front of it looked different. You saw this article, right, Ditty?
Exactly, yeah, I did.
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into it. It's not confirmed. Deej, I think, did say Weapon Skins did make their list of things, of stuff they want to add in the game, but we don't know if that's going to make the cut, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And the last clarification I do want to make, a long time ago I talked about that cool ram helmet. That is one of the new exotics coming in House of Wolves. It's not a piece of Trials of Osiris gear, but the Trials of Osiris gear, the Warlock helmet still looks really cool.
King Anubis, Pharaoh Anubis. And I do want to say something real quick about the new perks. One of the examples for is, I think this is the Crucible shotgun that you can buy from the vendor. One of the perks is melee kills with this weapon. Melee kills while this weapon is equipped have a chance to refill the magazine. So that's an example of a new perk that they're introducing. And so all the new gear, it looks like they have both new perks. So it's not like you're going to get crowd control and then a new perk. It's going to be a mix.
Yeah. So 2 new exotic weapons and 3 new exotic items for every class. So in total, that's 9 new exotic items.
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay. That is really awesome.
I'm super hyped about that.
House of Wolves is shaping up to be really good. We're actually at the end of our time today. We really did want to talk about, is Bungie showing that they're listening? There was a Reddit thread that we're going to put on the website that asks this very question. And just in a short, brief, off-the-cuff reaction, does it feel like Bungie are listening to us, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Every concern we've had with the Dark Below upgrade paths and the introduction of all this new stuff with this first expansion, it looks like they're addressing every single one of those points. And it looks like, Bungie's just not out to get you to make money. They're not just pushing out a DLC without listening to their community. They're really trying to make this game something that everybody will enjoy, and they're trying to smooth out all the wrinkles. They really did learn from their mistakes with the Dark Below. They're not resetting all of your weapon progress for upgrading the new damage. And that's a big thing for me.
I can just say right off the bat, this feels, looks, and just is going to be a lot better than Dark Below was. I'm very happy with what they revealed this week. I'm excited to see what Trials of Osiris has in store tomorrow. This thing just seems way more chock full of stuff to do and just better decisions than what Dark Below brought us. So that gets me excited. Ditty, where can people find your content?
Twitter.com/DittyDTS, DITTY DTS, and YouTube.com/Wooshness, WOOOSHNESS.
Excellent. You guys can head to destinytheshow.com for all the links from today's show and more. You can also head to destinytracker.com. It's an awesome website that has been supporting our show for a while. We love those guys over there. They have a top 5 PvP play series that really benefits when the community sends them their clips. Bungie usually tweets out the series, so if you've got some nasty PvP clips or even some just crazy funny glitch stuff that's happening, head on over to destinytracker.com and send it to them. You can follow us on Twitter at Destiny the Show. I am BBKDRAGOON. It's at BBKDRAGOON on Twitter, and it's the same on YouTube. So everybody, thank you for listening. Have a great week. We look forward to the next stream, and man, it's just looking good for House of Wolves. Have a good week.